Monday Scrum.
Hello and welcome to the Monday Scrum, joined by Benji Marshall and the bloke we miss ever so much, Brent Read.
That's not what Chamis told me.
No, mate, I was defending you. I missed you. Mate, don't bring Chamis back.
You might have, but sounds like you were knifing me, Emma.
No,
She
I
was
just
knifing
wanted
you.
to stir the pot a little bit. I think they were having board
I
meetings
had
as
COVID,
to whether...
man. I was battling. Got through
Yeah,
it, though.
you all right?
Beat the COVID.
No one keeps going.
If we're not going to talk about Reedy, we might have
no.
to talk about you being
hold
Here we
on.
go. Here we
the
go.
Tigers'
What happened?
new coach
Well,
in a couple of
assistant
years. Well, in a
coach for
couple
2
of
years.
years.
Yeah.
I know you've spoken about it, Benji, but how are you feeling now that it's been a couple
Yeah.
of days since the announcement?
Oh, no, really good. I mean, it's just something that I didn't expect to happen so soon. But like everyone sort of, I guess the biggest question's been why? Like your life looks so mad. You got all these TV shows. You're on Fox Sports. You know, why? Why do you want the pressure? But when I genuinely care about the club and you want to see change happen, and I back myself that I can go in there underneath Tim and learn a lot and hopefully change that. You know, so it's an opportunity that doesn't come around every day. You know, the chance to become a head coach, but also like another thing that never gets talked about is when you play for so long. Like I played for 19 seasons. You have at the end of the year you're always playing for something like a trophy or something, and then this year being retired, I found that part sort of missing a bit. You know. Without any disrespect to you, media people.
Could have won a Walkley or something.
No, like it's just it's hard. I miss that part. So to get back into the footy environment and be like able to teach kids things and hopefully try and help change a few things. It's something I'm really looking forward to.
So was there like a part of you was missing without footy?
Being
involved in that.
Yeah, like a purpose sort of thing. You know, it's I don't know, you just got to have something that you're really passionate about and love giving back. And for me, that was a bit of charity and obviously footy. So I wanted to get involved with a bit more charity things, and now I'm involved in footy again. So I actually feel really good about it.
It's amazing amount of people who go, "Oh, why would Benji give it up? He's got such a good life." But
Yeah.
people think you sit around in the sun lounge all day and don't
No,
do
I'm
anything.
very busy.
I know you've got your own TV show. That takes a lot of time, right?
The thing, like, you can't, I guess you can't say enough that people might not understand is the whole purpose thing. Like, that plays a big part in who I've been my whole life. You know, I've always been motivated to get up and train because I want to win. And, you know, at the end, you're in a team with a group of men that you work so you blood, sweat and tears to try and win something. For so long I had that, you know, and I guess probably what a lot of retired players struggle with is probably that. And I didn't realize it until recently that I really wanted to be a part of it again, you know. So I've been back in the environment a couple of weeks, coached a little bit of kids, done a few things and really enjoyed it.
So are you doing more already, Benji? Are you more involved already?
Well, sort of. I mean, having meetings with Sheensy every week takes up quite a bit of your day, Reedy.
Exactly, yeah.
8-hour meetings with Sheensy, that would make me
That's one
scared.
question.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Like everyone's acting as if I'm the head coach now. You know, It's still a few years away. I've got like an apprenticeship to go under and learn a lot. And like I've had a few meetings with Tim, and anyone who thought he was either too old or not going to be invested enough, they are so wrong. Like he is so, the excitement levels, and I feel like he's grown some hair back. You know, you lose his has come back. Yeah, just hearing him talk about the kids, and he's explained to me all the kids that are coming through. He's so pumped. Yeah, and I'm excited to be working with him.
Did you see that meme on one of the pages
my
where how you age in 5 years?
Well, that's what's happened in the last year working with you two.
Well, the big question is, Reedy and I have been discussing, does that mean you're giving up the Monday Scrum?
Yeah, I think out of everything I should do, I should give up on you two, I reckon. Yeah.
This
Have
is the
to.
most fun.
Yeah.
Well,
We go-
with you.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
hold on.
Nah,
Bring
we're a
back
good
We go
Chamis.
team.
gentle, mate. We go gentle on your bench.
Look,
Yeah.
we're a good team, just like the Melbourne Storm are. But at times there can be a few dramas and there are ups and downs. There are a few downs at the moment for them. They've lost 3 in a row. But yesterday, Ryan Pappenhausen fractured his kneecap, so his season is done. Reedy, how much of a blow
Oh,
is that?
it's massive. I mean, if you think about it, Ryan was leading the Dally M's before he got injured the first time round. I think he was leading point scorer in the game.
Yep.
He's huge for them, and it comes on top of all the other injuries they've got. You know, Remus Smith's gone for the year. Xavier Coates is still out injured. So they're just getting this accumulation of injuries. They're not short-term injuries, so it's a massive blow for them. And I feel really sorry for Ryan Pappenhausen. He's had a really tough couple of years, Ryan, and this is a really serious injury. I think he's having surgery basically. I think it's tomorrow morning maybe he's having surgery. So it's a really serious injury. I hope he gets back because he's one of the great players now again, one of the guys we all love watching.
He's a massive loss for them.
Huge.
Like, I don't think you can underestimate the impact that's going to have on their side. I know Nick Meaney's done some good things, but I reckon with Pappenhausen and the way that they play, he brings a spark and he brings like when they need something to happen. Himself and Jerome Hughes, they make it happen, and I don't know if they move either Munster to fullback or maybe not the best idea, but before 1st of August, maybe go and have a look at the bottom teams and see if there's any fullbacks and other teams that potentially might want to have some success.
Well, it's funny you say that, Benji. It's funny
would.
you say that because that win yesterday may have affected them because one of the guys they were interested in was Charles Nickel clock start.
Right.
But now the Canberra won yesterday. It means they're still in finals contention.
Yeah.
So that probably puts a line through Chance for them. But there's no doubt they're looking out there at the moment for outside backs. They're in the marketplace to see if they can sign an outside back for the rest of this year. And, the talk about Munster maybe going to fullback, the issue there is they don't really have a six.
Yeah. No, you can't change. Sorry, that was silly for me.
No, they've thought about it, Benj, though. They have thought about it. I spoke to someone today and they've thought about it.
The other halves where they got Cooper Johns and
Jaden Nicarima's the other guy there.
Well, yeah.
So, Manny's the obvious option, but I think if they could find
Meany can play anywhere, right?
If they could find a six, though, out there in the marketplace, it wouldn't surprise me if they did move Munster to fullback. And they're just looking at their options
I reckon
now.
it's probably easier to find a fullback.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to change too much structurally because Munster just does what he does anyway, and you just put the fullback on the end of the shifts. So you don't have to change your game plan too much. So I don't know who's out there. Maybe we should have had a look before we talked about it.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have a look at those sides who aren't in the top, who are out of the running, right? So
Well, it's only Gold Coast, Tigers,
maybe a Corey
Canterbury.
Allen maybe, or something like that.
But how much more does Corey Allen add than a Nick Meaney, though?
Well,
Yeah, but it's about the depth, though, Em.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a
Yeah,
fullback.
fair
It's about adding some depth because they've just got no outside back depth at the moment. Because I think, did Seve go off injured as well yesterday?
Yeah, he came back on.
He came back on, sorry, okay. But, obviously...
But Jennings is out too.
Yeah, and Xavier's still another couple of weeks away, I think, Xavier Coates. So they just need some depth. They've got no depth in the outside backs.
Well, 3 in a row they've lost for the first time since 2015. I was down there and I was getting my stuff ready to go down the lift and I saw Craig Bellamy and his face. I couldn't say anything to him. I just nodded and kept
What are you going to
walking.
say? He probably spray you.
Apparently he's not too bad today. As I said, I spoke to someone down there.
You spoke to him? Is that your
No, I
source?
didn't speak to him. I said, "How's the coach?" He said, "No, he's not in a bad. He's not in a
It'd
bad
be hard
place."
though. Like if he won't make excuses, but if you do look at the things they got going on, there's a lot, of people that they're missing, and a lot of things have happened. Obviously, no Munster the last couple of weeks, no Brandon Smith, so they are missing quite a few. So, and I think like for him as the coach, he's always the guy they look to. So he's got to be the one who's upbeat this week. He's got to be the one who shows them the way to turn it around. But they'll turn it around. They will.
I heard a stat today, and I haven't checked the veracity of this stat, so I might be a bit loose. But apparently when Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes and Harry Grant have played together this year, they haven't lost a game. They've averaged 30 points a game.
Except for yesterday.
When they played the entire game.
Oh, the entire game. Say that.
Oh, sorry, I should have clarified. But when they haven't been there, they've been like 5 and 6 and averaged half as many points. So
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
So you're putting the red line. You're putting the red line through them.
No, I'm not putting the red line through them. No, I'm just saying.
Just checking.
They need to.
That's just a Jamis question.
They need to find something from somewhere.
Well, the Raiders, as you said, they're still in contention. Do you genuinely think they're going to jump into the 8, or do you think the 8 as it is pretty much set?
Well, I reckon them and the Roosters are a chance to jump. Who's 7th and 8th at the moment? Just remind me.
South's on 22, Manly's on 20, Roosters and Canberra are both on 18, and the Dragons, sorry. But for and against the Dragons are a fair way back.
So you reckon Manly could drop out?
I'd put a line through the Dragons. I think the Dragons are gone.
I think surely the Roosters when they start getting troops back as well.
Well, Manly and the Dragons play this week. So one of them's going
to pump them.
Well, you just don't know. But if you think about the Roosters and Canberra, like the Roosters, they got some troops coming back. Kerry's supposed to be back pretty soon, I think. Joey Manu at 5'8". So what do they do there? But I don't know, man. It's going to be hard. 7th. I think South Sydney, the way they're going, they're on the up big time.
That's a big game, South Melbourne this week, isn't it? If Melbourne lose that one.
Both teams.
Yeah, that's a huge game. Yeah, I was going to say I can see the Raiders making the finals, but I look at the top 8 and I'm not sure who drops out of that top 8.
Ooh. Raiders have got the Warriors, Gold Coast the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, they got a good draw coming up.
And then they play Penrith though.
Yeah, but then the next 2 weeks I think are pretty good. So they've got a pretty good draw, the Raiders. Playing
It's
pretty
tight.
good footy.
I reckon, at the start of the year, it was looking like maybe only a couple of teams could win, but I reckon there's a few more sort of come up to the top now.
So do you think?
I think the only thing
Cowboys
that'll
can
beat the
challenge the
Panthers is COVID and the rest and
They
injuries.
think they get injuries.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone today about them. They've been so blessed over the past 2 years in terms of Nathan obviously had that injury last year, but they've been so blessed in terms of injuries. I mean, I can't think of a season-ending injury they've copped in the last 2 years. What other
Yeah,
club
they've been
can?
pretty
What other
lucky,
club
yeah.
can say that? It's they've had
Not
an
many.
unbelievable run.
Mm. Well, that's why they've been so consistent
That's
too.
it.
When you put the same team on the park, that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Well, there are some dramas at the Dragons. We love a bit of drama on this show.
Caused by Michael Chamis.
Yes, saying that
That guy.
Anthony Griffin is under a bit of pressure. There's going to be a board meeting, and that some of the players are not seeing eye to eye with Hook. Reedy?
I think my old mate Chammy's taken a bit of a whip to this one. Look, they've got a regular board meeting on Tuesday, and they've lost their last 2 games. So there's obviously going to be discussion around how the team's going. But I don't think Anthony Griffin's under any pressure. I mean, they're 2 points out of the 8.
Yeah.
So it's not under pressure at the moment. But if they finish the season the way they played the past 2 weeks, well, he'll be under the pump. But any coach would be. But at the moment, I don't think there's any pressure. And, I wouldn't be surprised if the club comes out and says as much in the next 24 hours. But if they do that, you've got the support of the board, and that's always a worry too, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a regular board meeting.
It's a regular board meeting. They have every Tuesday.
Which,
whatever
the
it is.
coach's performance probably gets discussed at every board
Well,
meeting.
the way the club's going obviously gets discussed. So, but if it keeps going the way it is, he'll be under pressure at the end of the season. Or they've obviously gave him an extension in the pre-season, or took up his option in the pre-season. I think we're all a bit surprised by that because no one was going to come and take Anthony Griffin off them. He wasn't in demand. They didn't need to. They thought by enacting the extension it would take the focus off the coaching situation, but that's not the way the game works. I mean, if you're not winning footy games, it doesn't matter whether you got 1 year left on your deal or 5. You're under the pump, right? And the media's going to be focused on you. So I don't know why they did that. I think they misread the room a bit, but I don't think he's under any particular pressure at the moment.
No, I agree. Good chat.
There we go. That is settled.
But I'll tell you what,
Yes.
if he does go,
Yes.
right?
Tell us. What do you think?
Obviously Cameron Sorrello's been linked with it, but I reckon Dean Young might get the job.
Yeah, I think it's a great option if that's the choice. Yeah, but who knows what's going to happen in footy? But being coached by Dino at the Dragons.
Is he good?
Well, if you have a look at the Cowboys defensively this season, they're gone from last to third, and he's the defensive coach, doing great things there. So he is one of their own and can coach. Wouldn't be surprised.
And he left the Dragons to get experience in another system. He's done that now. His
Going great guns.
His dad's the chairman of the club. It seems like a good fit.
What might happen?
Wow, you know something.
I don't know anything. I'm just saying that's. I don't know anything, Benji.
Yeah, no,
I've just said Hook's
I do
safe.
know that. Yeah, no,
He's
you-
safe.
Yeah.
Might be a good fit, just like Benji is at the Tigers, and we're going to be sad to lose him. That's why each and every week we're going to have to really soak up how much we love this segment.
Benji Marshall. Benji Marshall. Oh, Benji Marshall. Marshall's Law.
Yeah, what a segment it has been this year, hasn't it?
Maybe you can do via Zoom just the segment every week.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No worries.
Special guest appearance.
No, there's a few big things on the weekend that happened. The Cowboys into second. Now, look, I'm always the first to admit when I'm wrong. And before the season, I said that we were going to get the spoon. But talking
Does your
about
old mate
Dean
Toddy
Young,
Payton know that? Or
yeah, he
Okay.
sprays me every time he sees me.
Good.
But when you see that at second and you consider where they were last year, like it is a massive turnaround. And again, like Todd Payton and Dean Young, Steve Georgalis, the coaching staff there, that they deserve a lot of respect and credit. Obviously the Taumalolo thing, when you're losing games, everything gets exaggerated under the microscope. Obviously Taumalolo's minutes last year, he's not playing too dissimilar minutes this year to what he was playing last year, but no one's saying anything because they're winning. And that's the secret. And it's credit to Todd because he stuck to his guns and I guess backed himself in the way he coaches, that he's just going to do it his way and not be affected by outside noise. And for the Cowboys, that's massive. They're coming second with a chance, if they finish second, to get a home semi. Last year there were no Queensland teams in the final, so it's a massive turnaround for North Queensland. I think it's great for the game, and I can't be happier for my mate Toddy.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Has he chatted to you? Has he given you
Oh, he sent me
any
a message.
words of wisdom already? Or?
Yeah, he sent me a message. He said, just watch out for the journos.
Did he?
Nah,
Did he mention Reedy?
No, he didn't say that. He likes Reedy.
Yeah.
It goes back to this excursion we went on Adelaide a
that's
few
right.
years back.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
not dredge that up.
Nah,
Benj,
we won't.
please.
We won't bring it back. We'll pull them out of the gutter.
There we go. All right, well,
I, you know why I did that short?
Yeah.
Because Reedy's got a big segment.
Reedy has to have the biggest segment of the year.
Reedy's Mail.
Let's go, Reedy. Fire up.
Okay, so I spoke to Mel Manning today. Mel's
wow.
kept his head down of late. He hasn't spoken a lot. He's been quite sick, actually, Mel. So he's on the mend now. I just spoke to him about Victor Radley, obviously, and the Victor Radley decision. He was really disappointed because Victor was part of his plans for the World Cup at the end of the year. But Mel basically wants some clarity in the next 2 weeks on Jerome Luai and Steve Crichton, what they're doing. Because basically they're supposed to name like a World Cup preliminary squad. They haven't done it because for a variety of reasons, but one is they haven't got any clarity around these guys. So I'd expect Mel to get a decision out of those two guys in the next fortnight by the end of July. And I asked him about a few players going to the World Cup. Now, Matt Burton's one that Mel just threw up. So Matt Burton's well and truly in the mix to go to the World Cup. And I asked him about the DCE Nathan Cleary debate. Now, Mel said they will both go to the World Cup as it stands right now. They'll play in the pool games and they'll fight it out in the pool games. Obviously, he's got to get through to the end of the year and see how they play the rest of this year. But as it stands right now, Mel was thinking we'll throw them both in, play them in the pool games, and then we'll see how they go. And that'll determine who's the Australian number 7 moving forward.
Do you think, though, pre-Origin, would we all have said Nathan?
Yeah.
I would never.
Really?
Why?
Well, because DC is the incumbent. He was a chance.
Yeah.
He was a chance to be Australian captain.
I think a lot pre-Origin would have
Yeah, I think a lot of
lent
people were
towards
saying that. Yeah.
Nathan. But how much does that then change on the back of...
Well, I think obviously Mel's decided that if people were thinking Nathan, Mel wasn't.
And we're assuming that Munster's the 6.
Well, he's got to be, doesn't he? So, but I think
he walks in.
yeah, he's the first bloke picked probably, aside from Teddy. But I think that Origin probably, from a lot of people's viewpoints, changed things a little bit because Daly was, led Queensland to
I think that was the
victory.
best game I've seen him play.
Really?
Leadership, the influence he had on it. No Munster had to step up. I actually think it was his best game.
Well, maybe the captaincy debate should be back on the table then because everyone just thinks it's a walk-up start for Teddy. But maybe DCE should be.
Well,
in the
Teddy
mix.
would probably play every game, so he might have to be.
Anyway, that's what Mel said. So he just wants some. And look, he wants to look at the rules again. I don't think he's happy with how it's played out in the past
Whoa,
couple of
rules?
weeks around Origin and Test footy and so
the
on.
players who are saying they want to play for other
Exactly.
countries.
Yeah.
He's saying if you play for New South Wales or Queensland, you shouldn't be able to then pick.
No, I think my feeling is his preference would be that Victor Radley should be able to play for England and play Origin.
Yeah.
If you're born here, you're born in New South Wales or Queensland, and you decide to play for someone else, you should be eligible to play Origin.
Can I just ask why
But
Victor
that's
Radley
my
hasn't
feeling.
spoken?
No, he was on Triple M on Sunday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Spoke
Do we have audio?
extensively.
Okay.
Oh, we got audio.
Yeah, let's have a
Let's
listen.
hit it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It's just such a gut feeling and a feeling in my chest that that made me go for it. So I just couldn't look away from it. My head was telling me a lot of other things, and a lot of people were telling me other things. But that feeling in my chest and gut, I just knew I had to go with it. So that's what I did.
But if he was in the discussions for Mal, and he's been in and around the Origin squad, in terms of suspension and injuries, he's always been lucky around that Origin time because it's deprived him of a debut a few times. But do you find it a strange decision?
I did. At first I thought he didn't understand the rules, but I mean, he obviously did. He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. And when you hear him talk about it, I can
I know.
sort of understand
Yeah.
why.
Can
he
you hear
did
his
it.
voice?
Yeah,
Good on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not like he just went and lived there for 3 years and got citizenship.
Yeah,
It actually is close to him.
yeah. It sounded like it meant something to him,
Yeah.
which is
Of
why he's
course.
doing it. So I can't begrudge a guy doing that. And
No one can.
No.
Really. Not
And,
just
and you know, he's turning his back on a lot of money as well when you think about it. Origin's going to be back to at least $30,000 a game next year.
I know.
that's-
I love this fascination that everyone has with the money.
Well, some of us are battlers, Benj.
I know, but you know, like
we need money.
I'd like 30,000.
rugby, like although people seem to think so, it's not just always all about the money.
I know that, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
this obviously means something.
Yeah.
90 grand a year, is it worth that for you wanting to represent the country where your family's from?
Over 10 years, that's around $1 million.
Yeah, well, that's 10 years, but
How-
you,
how many
you never
pla-
get that chance again.
How many people play 3 Origins for 10 years? Not a whole heap.
No, not
Just
a lot.
Teddy.
Yeah.
And Cameron Smith.
And
Oh,
yeah.
he played 40.
What about his
And probably Munster.
stand? Cameron
that's
Smith
good,
gets his
wasn't
own stand at Amy Park.
Yeah, I know, it's good.
Good on him.
Anyway, on other news,
Here we go.
Speaking of Englishman, Luke Thompson. He's been overseas, went back to England to see his mum, who was quite ill. He's back here now, but he's actually, he trained today, but he's going to have to get through the week because he's still having after effects of a concussion he suffered before he went away, Luke Thompson. So he's back in the country. He's no certainty to play this week. He's got some concussion issues that are lingered and still lingering with him because it's been quite some time since he suffered that head knock. So they'll suck it and see with him this week. And Josh Addo-Carr's actually gone for scans today. His season may be over, Josh Addo-Carr.
What is it? Sternum from that fend?
No, I think it's it's a leg injury. So he hurt his leg last night. He was in a moon boot and on crutches. And obviously that would have ramifications potentially for the World Cup because he was in Melbourne Ingers thinking as well. So we'll have to wait and see. That news could come out later today on Josh Addo-Carr. So I'm not sure when the pod's going up, but we might be 3. We'll be right. So all good.
Okay.
So
we
Josh
know this
Addo-Carr.
is the most clicked on segment in Triple M history, so we don't want details to be outdated.
So hopefully, fingers crossed for Josh because he's had a bit of a tough year. But it's he needs those scans today. He's having them as we speak.
There we go.
Wow,
Well done, Reedy.
that's great mail.
That was a good first one back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
like
missed
that.
it.
Well done.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Well, to wrap up the round on Sunday, a couple of dramas coming out yesterday. The Tigers almost got home against the Panthers. Almost. I was sitting there in Melbourne looking at my phone. Come on. But it wasn't to be. But I think some of the headlines have been around the post-match comments around Penrith resting players.
They're a very good organisation that are entitled to rest their players and do whatever they want. We thought it wasn't respectful. I use that for us during the week.
That's part of being a coach. You've got to try and find ways to motivate your team. The decision's based on our team, not anyone else's.
What did you make of those comments, Reedy?
Well, I think he was obviously trying to use it to motivate his team, but probably didn't need to say it publicly. Probably didn't need to air it publicly. But, I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't have a great issue with it. I mean, if he's using that to try and motivate his players, saying they're disrespecting you, I don't.
Do you come out and say that publicly?
Well, maybe not. Maybe that's the mistake he's made. But what's the harm in saying it? I don't have a great issue with it. A lot of people are making a lot out of it, but I just feel like it's all a bit of byplay, It's all a bit of grist for the mill.
Well, he sort of said, I didn't think it was respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told my players that.
Mm.
No, not much doing there.
No.
Storming a teacup, really. It's the word. If he didn't use respectful, then it's probably not a drama.
Yeah, I mean, that just happens,
But who
right?
cares? Like, they're entitled to do that. They put themselves,
Exactly.
Penrith, in a position where if they want to rest their whole team, they can. Because
Yeah, they
they've
can.
got enough wins. That result yesterday wasn't going to determine them getting the minor premiership or not. They're 3-4 wins ahead anyway.
And let's be honest, the fact that the Tigers are towards the bottom of the ladder influenced the decision because they wouldn't have rested 7 players against Melbourne or the Cowboys.
Well, they might have because
No,
they're
they
so
would
far.
not.
Well, they're so far clear in the ladder. They probably.
Yeah,
they
I
might
reckon.
have.
I reckon they
Reckon?
probably
I think
already
they'd already
picked out a
organised,
plan.
and because Nathan went to Bali, like you can't just book that in a whim, can
No.
you?
Well, they got told, Ivan said after the Bulldogs game where they played without their Origin players, they decided that game after Origin 3, you're not here. You all got
Well, it's the perfect
for the
time.
week. Yeah.
They're gonna
Why
have
wouldn't
they're
you?
gonna have a week off, come back fresh. 7 weeks to go in the comp, start building up a bit of momentum. It's the right time to do it.
And I don't think they were being disrespectful to the Tigers. I think they were just being respectful to themselves
Well,
and
listen
their
to,
own
what listen to what
organisation.
Ivan said. We don't make decisions
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on what other people think. It's
Exactly.
what's best for our team, which you have to do.
Yeah, Yep.
So all good. But I can see where Noddy's come from though, because you got to try and get your team up some
Exactly.
way, and he used that as motivation during the week. And to be fair, they turned up most of the game, got unlucky towards the end, but that's footy.
they still should have beaten them though. How many players have out? 7. It's basically
okay,
you know,
Reedy.
Anyway,
It'll be a different story in a couple of years when
Oh,
Benji's
no.
up.
Did you tip him?
no, I didn't tell
Oh,
them.
okay.
No.
What are you worried about?
What
Well-
were were you all there, all the old boys for the Roy Simmons Cup?
Yeah, I was there for most of the game. Then I had to go in the car to do an interview for Triple M for Charlie. So yeah. So I just so you know where my allegiances still lie. I left the game early to do the interview.
Are you watching the game differently now, Benji?
Yes.
Yep.
I am actually.
Really, yeah.
You start watching like which players keep moving when the ball goes away, like little things that you don't probably normally watch.
Who didn't move? No, don't tell us.
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
But you're watching the game.
Well,
from a
like, yeah,
different
you
lens,
sort of
right?
have to,
Yeah.
But you start watching the people you don't know about too, the kids and stuff.
Yep.
No, I enjoyed it.
Can you say anyone who's impressed you rather than anyone who's?
I think that both the kids who have played in the last few weeks, Fanua Pole
Yep.
and Justin Matamua, pretty
Yep.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been excited by what the kids have bought.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of raps on the kids there, hasn't there? And the kids who are coming through. So
Well, there's about, I reckon, it's a big rap when Shinji's saying that the kids coming through are better than the kids he had in 05 of like Liam Fulton. I wasn't a Tigers junior. I came over from Keeper Park. But
Yeah.
like all those guys, Robbie, Liam, Bryce Gibbs, Chris Hines, all those blokes,
Yeah.
like these kids are better.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge rap.
And the thing with Sheensy, I think compared to other coach, he's not afraid to give young players
Nothing
a
to
crack.
lose.
Yeah, I think he said that like
Well, I
publicly
think
multiple
that-
times
I
that he
think-
doesn't care. Give someone a crack when
Well,
they're
that's what the rest of the season's probably used for. You know, let these kids get some experience, the ones that are ready for it, build it up.
Yep.
He
Sink
did-
or
he did
swim,
that.
man.
He gave Chris his debut when he was in year 12.
Yeah,
That's right, I remember
Chris
that,
still
yeah.
owes me a coffee for that. I got injured. The big fella got the
Everyone
call
was injured. There would have been about 4 or 5 injured, I think.
They got
Paul
the pho-
Fatawira was injured. Like
they got
What a
the,
debut, but
it was great.
they got
I remember
the photo of him in
thinking,
their school uniform,
is this
didn't
a
they? In the
joke?
lead up or
Yeah.
not?
what about
Oh, I
his
think-
hair though when he made that break off the try? Like,
they all went to. He had his trial HSC exams the next day at St Greg's, and then after the exams, they all went to Eaglevale McDonald's, and all the camera crew went down to Macca's and were filming them.
How old
And all
were you
these-
then?
So he was in year 12. I was in year 10.
Wow.
yeah, one of the great sponsors of Triple M Maggers.
Beautiful.
I
Good
didn't get to
plug.
go up though. I had to watch it at home.
Oh, what's doing?
Mum and Dad. went.
Anyway, thanks for that.
Anyway, all right. We'll see you next week, everyone, on the Monday Scrum.